Hi.
Okay. So, I'm going to confess my sins. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession that was really the window pane of my soul, I've never done. Well, I've always done. I'm always honest in my confession.
Can this be the one?
And the last 3 confessions, I have sobbed and cried and sobbed and cried. And then when I saw Father LeBeau later, I said, I'm that girl. Last time he saw me in the grocery store, he asked me how it was going. So, the first time, I grabbed a line safety sucker. I told you that. I just didn't know you had to buy stuff. And then the second time, I defecated at the Frazier's front door inside. So they called my mom, so. But she didn't discipline me. My dad did. I always waited for my dad to get home. The busy one. I'd be bored. And then we had a really pretty cool house. My dad built it. And we lived 2 houses down when I was bored. We had a basement with a bar, a shuffleboard, and then upstairs with living room, kitchen, 3 bedrooms. I don't remember bathrooms. But people always came to our house. And it wasn't a leaky basement. And then a 2-car garage. So one day, I always got buddies. I guess we had our cabin then. Yes, we did. Yes, little. And so I always got a buddy at the farm. And I came running down, showing Daddy, and he goes, watch out, watch out. And sure enough, I killed my bunny. By the time I was in the driveway, I killed my bunny.
How'd you kill it?
Squeezed its neck too hard.
With what?
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but with what? How did you squeeze its neck too hard?
I was
with your
my
foot?
hands,
Oh.
holding it, excited. Daddy was home finally.
You were so excited
you
I
couldn't wait for my daddy to get home because Mom never talked to me.
So you were so excited that you squeezed this buddy's
to show
neck?
Daddy run because it was a little bit inclined.
Uh-huh.
And then
so like
he
you
goes,
killed
don't,
that bunny
don't,
or
you're
whatever.
gonna hurt the bunny. And then
and you killed it. Yeah.
So then I was,
Okay.
heartbroken,
Next
but
one.
I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
another lesson learned. Yeah. Got it.
And so when my dad was the one that introduced me to water, because he was a lifeguard and loved water, I was just like my dad. And so he got me this little, it was metal and then like plastic in it. The little metal were little seats, and he'd fill it with water, and we didn't have fence or anything, And so he'd fill it up, and then he caught me going to the bathroom with the dog because I didn't know I was more comfortable with dogs. So I'd go to the bathroom with the dog. That's how I was so ignored. No. So my dad, it was messing with the cleaning my little pool thing and messing around. I had my little suit on, and so I had little ruffles in my little belly.
You didn't know any better. You're just
I didn't know any better.
You're just a
child.
child.
So I had gone around the front, and Daddy was scrubbing my little feet, and he came around, and there was where the spigot was. And so he
Daddy
saw
parenting
he had
here.
the little dachshund, and then he saw defecation. And so he goes, Katie, he called me Kay then. And he said, Kay, come here. And so I did. He goes, what's that? I go, I don't know. And he goes, well, I think I know. And I go, what? He goes, I think you went to the restroom after number 2. I go, really? He goes, did you? I couldn't lie. I goes, why? I think I did.
You still don't, by the way.
Right, I know,
yeah,
I don't.
You tell the truth, yeah.
And maybe I did, Daddy. I go, is that wrong? He goes, yeah, you can't do that. And so where am I supposed to go or something like that?
Case closed. But.
So I think he got on to my mother.
Gotcha.
And then my grandma did too. So they took me to the Institute of Logopedics to see if I was deaf. And they said, there's nothing wrong with the girl. So then, what did I do? Oh, then the Playboy. So, not long after that, Chris Fry, he was always trouble to this day. His parents were big partiers, but they didn't run with my mom never partied. Okay, so the Frys and the Gotts ran together. And then, like the Oswalds, we had a wild neighborhood. And all the moms were like tennis players or golfers and all, very fit, very tan. And then my mom did not go out in the sun. She had a greasy face. She never saw me play baseball. I was not very good at sports.
Was she self-conscious about like going out?
She would not get in the sun. So Mrs. Osmo once called her and said, "Why don't you ever go see Katie in her sports?" You know, then she got onto her. I don't know what mom told her. But so now my mom's 84 and she won a meal with Dr. Oz or something. He goes, "You never drank, you never smoked, you never in the sun." But she's had work. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so then let's see. So what did I do next? Okay, so we're at Craig's, and it was a big drugstore. And so when Chris Fry came over to the cabin, they stayed across from us, the people, they didn't have children, the Andrews. And so they had a trailer in the back for when people brought kids, put the kids back there. They were nervous people, but nice. And so I was to go back there and play with him, but my dad was nervous. And so he showed me these, back then they had calendars, these plastic things that were like this, that would fit on a desk.
Mm-hmm.
And so he showed them to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's neat." So he had kind of taken it apart or something. So I told Kathy Osba, and they lived next door. They had 7 kids, and their dad was a doctor. And there was a Katie, a Karen, a Kathy, and a Kim. And Karen was a year behind us, and Kathy and Karen's mom were best friends, and they were alcoholics.
I need the sin. Your sin now.
And so,
your sin.
That's part of the story. So nobody knew they were, and the dad was doing drugs. So they had maids. So we stole all those. We ripped them out.
So
put them
you
in our
stole
car
what?
coats.
What'd you steal?
The calendars, page by page.
Mm-hmm.
The little, this big. We put
Gotcha.
in our car coats.
Yep.
You know what a car coat is? Okay. Then we zipped them up. We went to our house. So the maids were there 7 days.
All right, I don't know what that means.
So half a week was one of it.
Yeah.
So Marguerite
Gotcha.
undoes them, finds them, tells them.
So
Barbara.
you stole.
And so the Osmonds were strict, and she was out of her mind. You never knew what she was going to do, and she was the witch every year, the best witch. And so she tells my parents, and so my dad sets me down. Okay, so you were stealing from Craig's. Yes. Marguerite caught you.
It's bad.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's stealing. And if you were in court, I would be so
done.
embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're my daughter. What would I do? I said, it'd be a bad thing, Dad. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. But I wanted to make some money. I thought I would be enterprising. Well, use impressed. I used that word. I was like 5th grade or something. And then, because I hadn't gone to kind of school yet. And then he goes, "That was all that Chris Fry, wasn't it?" I go, "Yeah, it was." So then, the same year or so, we used to go have the big tree. And so we'd all meet at the big tree, popular.
I don't want to hear about anyone other than you.
Well, I was part of it.
Yeah. So
we
what happened
did
with
it.
you?
Can you not interrupt me, please?
Yeah.
So we all go. So there was this kid.
Just you.
There was this kid. I was part of it. Don't interrupt me. And so we would do our truth or dare. That we always noticed the kid was so shy. He was easy to pick on, and he never, So then the tennis courts were on the other side. One time we trapped him against the where the balls go, and so his hat fell, and we all took it, and we did tug of war and shredded it. It was his dead dad's from Vietnam hat, and so we didn't know that, and so he ran. He went to the principal, and the next day it was a big deal, and to this day I'm scarred that I did that to that man. I'm scarred. I can't believe it. I did that. I had no idea the pain I caused, and I will never forget it. So then, the next year, it was 6th grade, and there was Marsha Bentley. And I always liked her, and whenever I had nothing to do, she would always seem to call and invite me over to spend the night. And her mom had scars from acne, and they were always nice to me. So one day I was ornery, mean, I had little mean streaks every once in a while.
Hey, no big deal. We've all had them.
So it was the night of the Christmas concert at the church, and I was at the tether ball.
Yeah, sure.
And so I started picking on her and
Bullying her.
I was something
Yeah,
and I took it out
sure.
on her. So I started saying terrible things about her mother and just
They
awful
say
things.
they say when a child experiences trauma, they either get angry or get depressed.
So I just said awful things that I didn't say. They were awful, and they were so nice to me. Always when I spent the night, movies and making popcorn, just treated me way better than my house did. And so she cried and told her teacher. The teacher told the principal, and then the principal called my mother. And
then all hell broke loose.
Walked home. My mother said the principal called and you're to go to the principal's office before the concert. And I said okay. And so Marcia and I were there, and she'd been crying. I could tell. And I felt like